Hello everyone!
Hello!
So we're going to jump in with the exciting news. I know you've all been wondering who won the competition from last week's assembly. Well, you did absolutely amazing. We were blown away by how many suggestions you came up with for how we can respect others. So there's going to be 4 prizes because we had a joint third prize with 10 suggestions on top of what Ellie and I could come up with. That's Burley Doherty and Cressida Cowell. And then in second place, with 11 suggestions, it's William Shakespeare.
Well done!
And then massive congratulations, with a whopping 13, it's Benjamin Zephaniah. So hopefully the angels brought little prizes that your teachers will give you out at the end of the day.
Well done! Okay, so hands up if you like rules. Maybe like me, you thought, I'm not sure. We can think of rules as things that stop us doing things. And so if someone says there's going to be some new rules, we kind of feel a bit unsure if that's a good thing or not. But let's say the government's new rule for people who make aeroplanes is that they must make sure that the aeroplane's wings stays on the plane and doesn't fall off. Well, you know what? I'm perfectly happy with that new rule. Or if there's a rule that says that roller coaster rides must have seatbelts that don't come undone, well, you know what? That's another really good rule. So 2 weeks ago, we were thinking about respecting our planet. And last week, we were thinking about respecting one another. And this week, we are thinking all about the subject, respect the rules.
Okay, so last week you had Sports Week, and judging by the photos that we saw, it looks like you had a great time. So we're going to go into our thankful time now, and what we want you to do is to think about a question. What were the best bits about last week for you? So teacher, can you press pause and just have a little chat and share about what you loved about Sports Week last week? Okay, so this week we're thinking about respect the rules, but we realise that sometimes we can think rules are a bit negative. So maybe we should get rid of the rules. So let's imagine that we tried that at Sports Week last week at school. Okay, Ellie, so we're going to play football, but with no rules.
Oh, that sounds fun. Okay, so I'm going to pick up the ball and I'm going to run as fast as I can because I'll be way quicker than if I tried dribbling it.
Okay, so I'm going to trip you over.
Ooh.
Remember, there are no rules. And I'm going to put the ball in my car.
What?
And I'm going to drive over the pitch so you won't be able to tackle me.
Ah, but I have a plan. I'm going to attach wheels onto my goal and 4 motorbike engines, and I'm going to drive the goal around so you'll never catch it and never score a goal.
This is getting a bit silly, isn't it? I know it sounds a bit fun and maybe a bit crazy, but when I'm playing football with my friends, I just want to kick a ball around and have some fun. Well, okay, maybe it's just team sports that don't really work without rules. What about something like, I know, the climbing wall? That was amazing, wasn't it? But does that need rules? Maybe we could do the climbing rule without rules.
But what if people didn't put on their safety harnesses?
Yeah, okay, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? But
A bit of a problem. People might get really hurt.
okay, so maybe we do some like safety rules, but maybe we get rid of the other rules.
But what if everyone climbed on it all at once? Well, then there just wouldn't be enough ropes.
Okay, but maybe we just put on loads of ropes and massive stabilisers so that the tower wouldn't topple over.
But do you think people would actually have fun? They'd all be climbing on each other, treading on each other's fingers, knocking into each other and getting in each other's way.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. I think everyone would have been really upset and disappointed and frustrated if it was like that. So maybe rules are a good thing.
There are some very famous rules in the Bible, and they are called the 10 Commandments. Now, Moses was the leader of the Israelites, and with God's help, he led them out of slavery in Egypt. And when the Israelites had crossed the Red Sea and escaped Pharaoh's army, they stopped to take a breather at Mount Sinai. Now Moses goes up the mountain to pray and have a chat with God. And God gives the Israelites the 10 commandments, 10 rules to live by, which he carves onto stone tablets. If you think about it, they had been slaves all their lives. They've just had to do as they were told and live by the Egyptians' rules. But now they were going to be their own people. They were going to have to set up their own country. And so they will need some new rules.
So we're going to watch a video. This is from the BBC. And it's imagining that instead of living well over 3,000 years ago, that Moses was around today. And instead of stone tablets, he had a YouTube channel to share his new rules from God with his followers.
Moses! Hey guys! Sorry I haven't posted for the last 40 days and 40 nights, but I've been super busy speaking with the holiest of holies himself, God. I'm here at Mount Sinai, which is pretty awesome, but I am so exhausted. God wanted to talk to me right at the top. So, what has God been telling me? For the first time ever, I'm going to share with you his top 10 tips for living a good life. God's calling them commandments, so we've got to do them, and he's kindly written them down on these stone tablets. Yo, okay, let's get straight to it. Tip number 1, don't worship any other gods, just, God. He is the one and only. If you want to follow other gods, I suggest you unsubscribe. Soz. Tip number 2, don't make or worship any idols. What it means is God does not want you trying to make him or anything else into a figure that you pray to. Like this golden calf some of my followers made while I was up the mountain. Not cool. Tip number 3, don't use God's name for something bad. What does this mean? It means like when you get angry or upset, don't say his name, and don't write it down either, because his name shouldn't be connected to bad things. I'm talking about when you stub your toe, life seems unfair, or you lose something.
I lost my wallet! Fuck!
Tip number 4, guys. Remember to rest 1 day a week. I love sleeping in late so much. Thank you, God. Thank you. So, God is saying it's important to rest at least 1 day a week and use that day to worship him so you don't get too tired with school or work. He created the world in 6 days and knew he needed a 7th day to just chill. Next up is tip number 5. Respect your parents. So, yeah, they can be annoying, but we still love them even when we argue. Try to show them respect. Do as they ask. And do nice things for them, even when it isn't Mother's Day or Father's Day. Moving on to tip number 6. This one should be obvious. Don't murder anyone. Nobody has the right to kill someone else, even if they've done something really bad. Moving on to tip number 7. Don't commit adultery. Adultery? That's one of those words you might not know the meaning of yet. If you're in a relationship with someone, you shouldn't be kissing anyone else. It really hurts people's feelings if you become a sneaky cheater. Not that kind of cheater. I'm talking about when you cheat on someone, which is probably the most common way you've heard adultery described. Don't steal anything. That's tip number 8, guys. No matter how small something is, no matter how tempting it might be, do not take stuff from other people without paying or without permission. It can have really bad consequences. Consequences. If you do bad things, it can lead to other bad things, and so on and so on. Thinking about consequences, let's check out tip number 9. Don't make up lies about people, like when someone starts a nasty rumor.
Did you guys know she likes to eat her own bogies? Ugh!
And that leads us to, drumroll please, the last commandment for today. So, get ready for tip number 10. Don't get envious of your neighbor's house. Quick side note, guys. Envious means wanting what someone else has got. And when God says neighbor, he's talking about everyone, not just the people living next door. God actually continued to talk a bit more about this, saying you shouldn't get envious of your neighbor's wife, his servants, his cow. Yeah, some people have pretty nice cows. God is saying you could be envious of loads of people for loads of reasons. So that could be a person's big house, their looks, or how much money they make. The list goes on. So, that's it for this video, guys. To sum it up, don't do to other people what you wouldn't want them to do to you. Feel free to leave comments if some of this doesn't make sense, guys. And that goes for the next 60 videos or so, because God actually gave me 613 top tips. 10 down, 603 to go. Peace out.
Rules work, don't they? I want to live where it's not okay to hurt people, where it's not okay to just take people's stuff. Those rules are obvious.
And I want to live in a world where it's not okay to cheat or to disrespect your parents or to lie all the time. Because actually, I think that a world without cheating and lying is going to be a better world for all of us. I know people make mistakes, but it's good to aim for the best.
Actually, even not being jealous of what other people have. I get why that's a good rule. If I'm not feeling jealous, I feel happier myself. And what about keeping a special day for worship and proper relaxing? Actually, I think we all need that. It seems really harsh to me that not everyone gets to do that.
So rules help us to live well with each other, but they can also remind us of what's really important. So God had just led Moses and the Israelites out of Egypt. He loved and cared for them. And having a rule about not using his name to swear, or about replacing him with an idol, these rules helped people to show proper respect to the one who was guiding them and helping them.
So we've done a lot of talking, so we want you to have a good long class discussion now. I want you to think of all the rules that you have at school. And again, like last week, maybe you can get your teacher to write them all down on your whiteboards. But with each rule, I want you to write in brackets why it's a good rule. So teacher, please press pause, and if you could do that activity, that would be brilliant. Okay, so hopefully you've got lots of good rules and good reasons why you have them at school. Now, hopefully through this collective worship, we've reminded you why respecting rules is a good thing.
Rules help keep us safe and help us to get on well together, and they help us to have fun. But there is a but. Sometimes rules can be wrong. At one time, it was okay to make people work as slaves in this country. Can you believe it? The rules, the law of this land said it was okay. That's crazy. So sometimes we do need to check rules are right and then change them rather than just respecting them.
And there's another but. Hands up who has never disrespected any rules. Hands up who has never broken any rules at school.
Really?
We all have, haven't we?
We all sometimes get things wrong and break rules. The important thing is whether we say sorry and learn from our mistake.
If I don't listen to the teacher, I spoil the class for everyone. But if I say sorry and make a real effort to listen, actually I make the class even better for everyone. So we're going to sing a song now that you'll know really well. And if you sort of think from our assembly, well, sometimes I'm not very good at respecting the rules. So we sing this song, we can just say sorry and put that right.
You take all the pieces of my life, put them back together, make it all alright. Oh, you forgive me. Only you can heal my broken heart, make all things new with a brand new start. Oh, you forgive me. You forgive me. I try so hard to do things right, but I make the wrong choice sometimes. And you forgive me. No one knows me, God, like you. You see who I am, not what I do. And you forgive me. You take all the
Dear God, help us to make good decisions, to be the best learners we can be. Give us plenty of opportunities and let us cherish them.
Help us to be kind, sharing, and loving, and to treat everyone equally. Help us to care for the wonderful environment we live in, as well as others and ourselves, while giving us the power to conquer life's challenges.
Help us to be grateful and not greedy. Thank you for all the happiness and joy you bring us. Amen.
Great to be with you again this week, and we hope you have a really great week at school.
Year 5 enjoy being the top year, because we know that Year 6 are away on their residential. See you next week.
Bye!